So, as we've said, women and gender in Elizabethan era is going to be one of the most important social considerations we have when we're reading Macbeth. So here I have a picture of Lavina Tierlink's miniature portrait of Elizabeth I. And Lavina Tierlink was actually a court painter for Elizabeth. And for a woman to be court painter, that means kind of the official painter of the king or queen, is a sign that in the Elizabethan age, women had enjoyed a lot of social progress and had a lot more power than in earlier ages. So the fact that a woman is appointed the important role of court painter is a sign that during the Elizabethan era, women had gained a lot of status. They had gained political status and legal status. I mean, the monarch herself is a woman. But still, we need to keep in mind that at this time, women enjoyed far less power and privilege than men. Some examples. Women at this time could not inherit a title of nobility, right? So, in the world of Macbeth, Macbeth mentions how he became Thane of Glamis after his father died, right? So his father was a nobleman, and when his father died, he inherited that noble status. Well, for women in the Elizabethan era, they were not able to inherit noble status. Another example is that property, when the parents died, the property would have been given to sons before daughters. Okay, so a couple simple examples that show that women were at a political and economic disadvantage in Elizabethan society. Upper class women would have had access to some education. Lower class women would have had access to almost none. So in terms of education, relative to men, women had fewer opportunities in this time. And, there's a quote from John Knox, who is a religious leader at this time, who says, "Women in her greatest perfection was made to serve and obey man." Okay, so there's an idea that women are subservient to men during this period. Okay, in fact, one thing I'll add here is that when a man and woman became married in Shakespeare's time, they would have had to take vows promising their commitment and their relationship to one another. And men had to promise to love and honor. Women had to promise to serve and obey, right? So when you love someone and honor them, you're not necessarily putting yourself beneath them. You can be equal to them or even above them. But if you serve someone and you obey someone, you're positioning yourself beneath that person. So the fact that women in this time, when they became married, had to promise to serve and obey their husbands is a sign that women were relegated to an inferior social position relative to men. And when we examine the way Lady Macbeth behaves, we need to keep this in mind. We're struck by how powerful and ferocious Lady Macbeth is in Act 1, but Shakespeare's historical audience would have been even more so struck by Lady Macbeth's power and ambition and tenacity in the play.